out there about this ism. Y'all niggas see me in American Pimp. Watch me bring it.
You wanna be on top of the world, like me. You wanna be loving all the girls, like me. You wanna say you was 8 hoes deep, like me. You wanna say you checked the mill off the street, like me. You wanna say you stood up to the feds, like me. You wanna say you spit game from the head, like me. You wanna say you never told on the friend, like me. You wanna say you stayed true to the end, like me. You wanna be an American pimp, like me. You wanna be seen as big as a blimp, like me. You wanna keep a little bitch in check, like me. Niggas speaking your name with respect, like me. You wanna say your little bitch stuck around, like me. Even when they lock the motherfucker down, like me. You wanna say you did your time like a man, like me. You never got one letter from a fan, like me. You wanna say they couldn't break you down, like me. Like on the grind of who's laughing now, like me. You wanna say when they took your shit, like me. You gave a big ass green thing you spit, like me. Pimps really don't wanna be like Mike, they wanna be like me. Hustlers really don't wanna be like Mike, they wanna be like me. Gangsters really don't wanna be like Mike, they wanna be like me. Dope dealers really don't wanna be like Mike, they wanna be like me. You wanna say you came up from the gutter, like me. When the shit went down, you didn't flutter, like me. You wanna say you drive across the bubble, like me. You brought a gang of hoes full of trouble, like me. You wanna say you's a pimp hoe pro, like me. When you send a bitch, she comes back with dough, like me. You wanna say you's a nigga with heart, like me. On the street, that's where the real shit pop, like me. You wanna say you took care of your people, like me. When I give nigga, they ain't no equal, like me. You wanna say you're not scared of the fight, like me. That's what it takes to take a motherfucker high, like me. You wanna say what's up to yourself, like me. Niggas standing strong in hell's belly, like me.
Yeah. Say to clear this shit up. Give a shout out to my motherfucking soldiers and niggas down in the feds. Across the bubble. Yeah. This one's for you. The Empire. Gorgeous Dre.
Pimps really don't wanna be like Mike, they wanna be like me. Hustlers really don't wanna be like Mike, they wanna be like me. Gangsters really don't wanna be like Mike, they wanna be like me. Dope dealers really don't wanna be like Mike, they wanna be like me.
An infamous motherfucker. An infamous motherfucker. Let's get it cracking around this piece. What's happening with it? I'm back, boy. Yes, sir. Back on YouTube one more again. Just to bless you. Just to bless you one more again. Just to let you know what you're missing out on my OnlyFans page. Oh, we about to go in. You miss me? You know. Oh, I've been hearing a lot of talk. Just like I said in Like Me, I've been hearing a lot of them niggas out there trying to talk about this ism. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm back, baby. Get the lights up on here. Subscribe, hit the bell. All of that stuff that the YouTubers tell you to do. You know? Yeah, you want to say you stood up to the feds. Ah. Yes, sir. Boy, we got some lot to talk about. There's been a lot of people on YouTube talking plenty. I come to answer. You feel me? I come to answer. Yes, sir. I come to answer. My daddy didn't make me no shrinking violet. You know, I come to answer. Yes, sir. I'm in my element now, boy. Boy, you better watch out. So let's get it cracking. Let's get it cracking, man. Thank you for that 4 o'clock. Yeah. So look, Everybody want to know why I keep going at your boy Kevin Samuels. Let's just get right to it. No beating around the bush. People are always talking about, oh, it's emotion. You know, it's player hating. You trying to use him for status and popularity. You trying to use him to get more views. You know what I'm saying? You need him, you riding off his coattail. You know, that shit is hilarious to me. Okay, let me give you guys some pointers, first of all. I've never, ever been in the numbers. My little nephew, I call him, Jay Morrison, that got hundreds of thousands of views. His team months ago was telling me how I can get more views on my page. And I told them, guys, I'm not interested in views. I didn't have a whole bunch of, friends. I didn't have a whole bunch of friends when I passed police accountability. I didn't have a whole bunch of friends when I defeated white supremacy and white folks. I didn't have a whole bunch of friends when I defeated law enforcement. What the fuck I need some friends for, nigga? I got black genius. I'm not no new nigga looking for friends for validation. I've been doing what I doing before Facebook existed. Little ass niggas, crack baby ass niggas, without no mama. Yeah, like Sinful say, I come to take off the belt today. Niggas with that small ass shit crying all the goddamn time. I come to raise men. This is why I say I'm here for the remnant. Because I'm here to raise men. It ain't about the crowd. It ain't never been about the crowd to me. My father taught me, nigga, if you got to, stand alone on your word and on the principles that you believe in. If it is something that I disagree with anybody, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to be clear. I'm going to name the thing that I'm having a problem with because that's what men do. And then I'm going to be willing to back up whatever my convictions are. I'm not going to be just dry snitching or something. Or gossiping or something. No, I'm going to be real clear about what my issue is. So there won't be no confusion. I want you to have real clarity about what my issues are. So whatever you're trying to do, you want to talk to me or whatever, we can have that conversation. But this is my issues. Now let me tell you something. Kevin is sharp. Ain't no doubt about it. When I went on his page to try to talk to him and he kicked me off of his Zoom, listen. The boy got his shit set up so beautiful. Genius. If you want to come on to be a friend, it's going to cost you $5. So everybody that's in that chat, that's been comments, they always have to pay at least $5 and to go up from there. That shit is ingenious. The way he got all this shit put together, that shit is beautiful. Let me tell you, the boy is sharp in this social media shit. The boy is sharp. I don't know what kind of team he got with him, but the boy is sharp. So don't get it twisted. I'm not mad at him. I don't dislike him. I like him a lot. I like him a lot to give him some education about a particular area that I feel is damaging to our culture, to black men. So wait a minute. You have to remember who I am and some of the work that I've been doing. Outside of the game, some of the work I've been doing is I've been doing things for the community. Looking out for our community. That's what the police accountability was about when they killed my brother in 2016 and I went to Seattle to handle that. And I handled that. I took the genius that I've learned, even from the street, because it's transferable. And I've already taught you guys that this information is transferable. So it's not about just no broad. That's a small portion of it. It's about every area of your life. So I took that information because it was transferable, used it in police accountability, conquered that whole state, and led this whole country in police accountability. Now I did that for our people, not just for my brother, because I included other nationalities. And we built the largest people of color coalition in the history of Washington state. So you have to understand my mindset. So when I come back, because I stopped being on social media, because I had to focus on what I was trying to do with the law. Social media was very small to me at the time, and before I left, I told people that I was going to go and what I had to do and what I had to take care of. I would have loved to have continued to Daily Fire, but there was something more important that I needed to do for our community and not myself. This is what I got off of social media for a while, for a while, because I was focusing on police accountability, right? So now, once I completed the assignment, once I got the law changed, right? Once Washington State became the leader in Washington State, right? Where other states can follow behind. Once you establish something like that, then a precedent, then other states can follow behind. So that was my focus. So I was focused on that. I wasn't focused on no social media shit. So once the assignment was complete, then I came back to social media. And when I came back to social media, I saw people were talking about Kevin Samuels. And so I said, let me go check a few of things out. So I checked a few things out. And so some of you encouraged me, well, Dre, you need to listen to his whole videos. So I went in and listened to his whole videos and shit. But still, I feel there was a character flaw. If the character flaw didn't involve the community, I wouldn't give a fuck. People ask me why I'm at. If it didn't involve it damaging the community, our culture, I wouldn't give a fuck. But it does. So because I'm a man that's concerned about our community and not just myself, right? Because I just came out of fighting for the community. When I seen that, I saw that it was harmful for him, right? To suggest that being this whatever he considers a high value man to be is tricking. That tricking is a part of that. So now I had a problem. He could be a trick all you want, but once you equate tricking to manhood, then I got a problem. Once you equate tricking to manhood, then I got to address it. Because now what you've created, not only that the tricking is wrong, not only are you creating a bunch of black males who are babies and crying about experiences that they had in their life and don't want to go to process like everybody else had to go through the process, like I had to go through the process of developing and learning women. I wasn't, I didn't always have all the information, but I was willing to go through the process, right? Because that's like the transition from boyhood to manhood. That's a part of that. You can't escape that. You don't want to escape that. You want to go through that process. So if women was your issue, there was a process that you can go through, but you don't want to escape that. So what I found out, he was telling guys that it's not your fault, that it's these women's fault. Then I thought about that. So now it was contrary to the things that I was teaching, and I knew that was going around, and a lot of average men would take to the message. A lot of average men would take to the message. And I felt like, listen, we already got enough problems in our community. Then for you to teach men, right, that it's the woman's problem. So what it does is it stops men in their track from developing. As long as it's somebody else, you stop a man from developing what he needs to develop in his transition from boyhood to manhood. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I seen that. See, you guys see on the surface, I'm seeing much deeper because this is the shit I deal with in my life. Community, right? And so my issue is not personally with Kevin because I think Kevin is sharp and a lot of things Kevin say is on point. Do you understand what I'm saying? But the things that are not, the things that have the ability to shift because I can see it. I can see the men out there in a place of desperation. We need answers, right? And so the answer then becomes, oh, it's not me. It's them. No, it's never been them. God made you the head. You guys know the story in the Bible, and this is not religious. Even if it's not true, some of you guys don't believe it. But the principle of it is true. So Eve, she was out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? She did some out of pocket stuff. Like Kevin is telling you guys that these women are doing out-of-pocket stuff. So Eve did some out-of-pocket stuff because God told them both, don't eat of the tree of knowledge. And Eve went and did that. She was out of pocket. The scripture says that Adam didn't sin, Eve sinned. So I understand that she was out of pocket. So when God came down to talk to them, guess what? He didn't say one word to Eve. He came and he talked to Adam because Adam is headship over Eve. Adam has headship over his woman. So God came and talked to the head, right? And what Adam did is what Kevin is teaching you guys. Adam said something that made him lose headship in his life. Adam said, God, it was the woman you gave me. That's what he's teaching you. And because of that, sin fell upon all man. Now let me tell you, as far as manhood, what Adam should have done. When God came and talked to him, I've talked about this before, and I referenced it to people being in the military. And I said, okay, you got a military, right? And you got a sergeant, and he has men on the battlefield. And those men have done some out-of-pocket stuff. So the lieutenant comes and asks the sergeant, look, man, I've heard about these things that are going on with your men in the battlefield. Now, if the man would have told the lieutenant, sir, it's their fault, the lieutenant would have removed that sergeant from his position immediately because he doesn't understand the responsibility of rule and authority and headship. But if the sergeant would have said, Lieutenant, I take full responsibility for what I'm over. I take full responsibility for that. And I'm going to make sure that that's taken care of and report back to you. The lieutenant would have said, okay, soldier. So that's what Adam should have did. He missed this opportunity of manhood. And that's what you guys are being taught, which is why I had to step in, because I can't have a nation of black men blaming women. So Adam should have said, that's my wife. She's out of pocket, right? But I cover her. I'm going to take care of that. I'm going to handle that, God. Do you understand? You don't understand what manhood is. You don't understand what headship is. You's a little boy because you blaming the woman. Oh, it's her fault. It's your fault. But see, it take a man to take that kind of information. It take a man to eat it and to develop an understanding what headship, authority is, leadership is. It take a man to do that. But he's teaching you how to be a boy and to blame somebody else. Whenever you blame somebody for your deficiencies, whenever you blame somebody for your shortcomings, you nothing but a little boy. A man has nothing to do with age. A man is a position that you uphold. And that with that position comes responsibilities. Unless you're able to hold and to display, to position the responsibilities of the position, you'll never be a man. You'll never be a man. A man is a position, folks. You just don't become a man when you're 18 years old. Did you understand that? So whatever the requirements of that position, that's what you have to produce. And if you don't produce that, you can't never be no man. And that ain't on nobody but you. You. Whatever you got to do, read books, study. Whatever you got to do to develop principles, character, and integrity. Fundamental principles that you refuse. You refuse to compromise. These are the things that build a man. This is what I share with you. And so when somebody comes along and is so popular because he's giving you average dudes an excuse not to develop. It's easy. What he's telling you is easy. It's easy to do. It's easy to pass the buck. It's easy to blame the female. But it's hard to take personal accountability for your growth and your development. For your growth and your development. Do you see any other culture blaming their women? The white man, the Asian man, the Mexican man. Do you see any other culture blaming their women? So in the global platform, if you look around the world, who are the people that are leading in the world? White, Asians, you know what I'm saying? Middle Easterns. Do you see any of them blaming their women? No, because it's unmanly to do so. It's unmanly to do so when you got headship. You just don't understand the value of headship. You couldn't know the value of headship because you give it away so easily. You don't know the value of it because if you actually knew the value of headship, there's nothing in the world that would make you compromise it or give it away. But you don't know the value of it. So because you don't know the value of it, when somebody comes to you that looks polished and tell you it's never been your fault, you run with it. And then that anger of that little boy that you got inside of you, because you've been disappointed, that thing grows and that thing matures. And if you're not careful, it'll have you hating women. Because it'll come out through the crevices of your life. Bitter and angry. Right? I'm trying to help you. That's why I come at Kevin. That's why I address Kevin. Because that particular thing, no matter how small it is, on all the other things that he talks about, it's so big. It's so big because that thing will grow into a tree from a seed. It's so big, the harm, the danger that it can cause to men that are looking for an excuse, to boys that are looking for an excuse to blame something and not do the goddamn work. Do the work that's a part of manhood. Develop inside of yourself. That's the reason. So for all of you out there with these little itty bitty minds that have not contributed anything to the world or your community, you haven't contributed anything. You're not even on the same level to even converse with me. Because men that are powerful, the men, they bring their work to the table. Because people of success discuss their success with other people of success. You're not even in the realm of the conversation. Right? And I'm not only talking about monetary success. Success to me, to Andre Taylor, is who you are in any given situation that you don't change. You want to know what success is to me? That you don't change. You know what a woman wants in her man? You guys think it's money. You think it's the bag. She wants security. That's not the kind of security. She wants the security to know, no matter what, I got a man, whether the wind blows, whether it's storming, or whether it's sunny, this man is not going to change on me. Just that alone first. If a woman could see you operating, that you ain't gonna change on her, that's the greatest security that woman will ask for. You can build an empire from there. You can build an empire from there. But if you don't have these fundamentals or understand the value of what you have within your headship, within your authority, whatever you govern over, if you don't understand the value of that, you're going to give that away. and you're going to be a person that's given to a change. And the scripture says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And you wondering why she won't follow you. You wonder why she won't follow your leadership. Because you're unstable. And I'm telling you the root of where it comes from. So you can utilize that to benefit yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, again, a lot of people out there was talking, saying a lot of stuff out there. You know, my reasons for doing this or for popular. I've been famous and popular over 2 decades of my life. I'm more famous and popular to white folks for the work that I've done on the systems level. I'm popular in the urban community, true enough. But as far as my popularity that carries the heaviest weight, is with the system that's still trying to figure out how the hell that I accomplished what I accomplished, being that I came from where I came from. Right? So my heavy weight, the heavy weight of my genius is known up in them systems that you've never even been in. You've never been in them doors. You don't have those relationships. So your mind is not big enough to see the moves that I make because it's so urban. You think it on such a small platform when I play on a systems level. And not just playing that level, I have the receipts of defeating them in that level. All you thinking about is an urban level. When the next mixtape gonna be released and that kind of shit. You don't understand how a man that think with my genius move. The moves I make will the moves that I make will terrify you. I remember Dolores Kendricks when I was younger, when I was 18 years old. She was telling me, because I was married back then, and she was telling me that you got to be careful because the moves you make in faith will terrify your wife if she's not walking in that too. So the moves that I make, you can't even see. And I don't even expect you to see. You think I'm worried about you saying negative? The government have said all the negative shit in the world about me, and I still went and conquered them. You don't know who I am because you would be gleaning from this information that has proven in every area of my life success. Not just about no little broad. True enough, I've been married 23 years. True enough, I had 8 hoes and was a millionaire in the game. All that's true. It's the same information I applied. True enough, I use that same information to go over there and lead this whole country in police accountability. True enough. Those are the receipts. You've seen it with your own eye, but you can't understand the way I move. Because I move with spirit. You move with carnality. You don't understand. The spirit can never, the carnal mind can never understand spiritual moves. You don't have to believe it, but God is involved in all this that I'm doing. The scripture says that the wisdom of men is foolishness unto God. Well, I believed him. Give me that wisdom. And I've utilized the thing that he's given me to make their wisdom foolishness unto me and proved it. You little Negroes out there crying about something that I'm saying because you don't understand the reasoning. You're not deep enough in your heart to think about your community in that capacity because you don't think that way. This ain't about me. This ain't about Kevin. It's about our community. It's about us. So you keep on talking and you keep on guessing, and I'm going to keep on doing the work of the Most High. Protecting, governing, because I walk in dominion. That's what I'm going to do. The same thing I did in Washington State. I'm going to continue to do that for the rest of my life. It doesn't matter what you little Negroes think. Go out there, take some of this information, learn to be stable in who you are and not change. And then maybe some things will open up for you. Something different, something new, something fresh, something enlightening. But until you start doing that work, you will be a person on the sideline looking at somebody that may be successful and you have an issue with it. You don't have to have an issue with it because I come from nothing, born from a pimp and prostitute. coming from the gutter. This is for you. I didn't go to no Ivy League university. I'm not saying that that's bad because my son graduated from Yale. Cool. But the information that the Most High has given me trumps even that. So you don't have to be confused and pain or even hurt. There's a way that you can overcome all of that stuff, like I had to. Even with the pressure of all of the negative energy from the government at first and then my own community. Do you know when I went up to Seattle to fight for police accountability, it was black organizations that was against me? Because they were saying, oh, he's just a pimp. He just wants attention. So I never got the support. But I understood before I went that I wasn't going to get the support. Remember earlier I told you, I've been taught and educated how to stand alone and continue the task at hand. Oh, they said stuff after they saw the victory. You know what I'm saying? But I'm by myself, me and Dove. I'm going to keep on giving you guys the receipts. That's what I'm bringing. People can bring their words to the argument. Cool, I'll bring my work. And that's what I continue to do and what I'm doing with you today. I'm bringing my work. Oh, you jealous of Kevin. Why? Got a son graduated Yale, a daughter from UCLA, another daughter been married for a while, and I'm successful, been married 23 years. What do I got to be jealous of Kevin for? I've done that without a whole bunch of fans. I don't need no fans to live my life. That's what you guys think because you're millennials. Everything is focused around social media. I have a life without social media. So social media is not my power. I am the power, and that power comes from the Most High. My life outside of social media is successful without a gang of fans. I got a few, 26, 20,000, a few, because I've never focused on getting it. And I'm still not focused on getting a whole bunch of fans because that's not something that I need in order to govern and be successful in my life because I've already been that without all these fans, which is what I told my little nephew, Jay Morrison's people. I get what you're saying, but you could do this with more fans. I got all of that. But the greatest thing that I've ever done was contribute to the community with police accountability, and I didn't have no fans. So you can't tell me what I need. So no, I'm not doing that because I envy him. I want him to continue to have success, but just those areas right there, if you want me to stop talking about, you better correct that. Like my father corrected me. See, you guys think that, what do you guys call this thing? Clout chasing? Yes, I'm clout chasing. Clout chasing? Me? You guys think he has more clout than me because he's successful and he has 1 million friends and subscribers? Is that what you guys consider clout? Or do you consider clout a man can walk into a room of people that run this world and get things done? A man that can go amongst the most powerful police unions. A man that can step into the governor where he calls me and have called me for consultation. A man that come from the street but was hired by the mayor of Seattle, one of the most transformative cities in the whole country, to be a street czar and a consultant to the whole city of Seattle because they needed my help. A man that law enforcement chief of police's contact me. You think just because he has a little page with 1 million subscribers that's clout? That's not clout in the system and the people who run the world. Maybe that's clout with the urban community. But I can make a phone call and get things done. I can make that phone call and get things done because of the relationships and the work that I've done to major people. Do you know President Trump called me several months ago for the work and for a client that I had? We did the Hannity show, and everybody's scared to do the Hannity show. You think Dre gonna be scared to do the Hannity show? I went and did the Hannity show. We did it twice. I brought my client on who had lost his special needs son at special needs son at CHOP, this area over here that you guys have to look up CHOP. He called me, Dre, I need some help. Nobody's helping me. And they killed my son. I said, I got you, baby boy. I brought him on the Hannity show, one of the biggest cable shows in the country, and let him tell a story. Hannity said it was the best show he ever had. He never even took a commercial break. And he let my boy tell his story. That's my work. And after the show, people were so moved, the President of the United States was so moved that he wanted to talk to my client, and he called me. He had a secretary call. Yes, I have the president that's about to be on the line. And he called me. Regardless of what his politics are, I'm not worried about that. But regardless of what people think about him, to have the most powerful man in the world call you, nigga, that's clout. You guys talking about clout. And I'm trying to get Kevin's clout. Foolishness of you guys. That's just the foolishness of you guys. Stop it. Stop it. So anyway, so I hope we put that to rest. I hope we put this Kevin stuff to rest. And I hope you understand, Dre gonna keep coming at you if you keep saying things that's gonna affect the community. You take that out, nigga, I'll never say another thing about you. Go ahead and do everything you want to do. But if you keep poisoning black men's minds, if you think I'm going to sit here and let it affect the community, you got another thing coming. I will not let it affect the trajectory of our culture and bring up a bunch of babies, less than men. And you keep complaining about black women because you've been less than men. They're not wrong about that. I heard one lady say, white men, they're superior to you. They control you. A black girl, I think her name is Cynthia G. I don't know her, I've never heard her podcast before, but I heard Sinful talking about her. And she was talking to some dude. She said, white men are superior to you. You think they lie? You think this broad is lying? Listen, I've said many a times, I was I was something else in them streets. And I know a whole bunch of other dudes that was something else. What white folks do, they got a system to know how to deal with our something else's and put us all in prison. You understand? You can't beat them like that. You got to come. The way I beat them is I beat them with black genius. And I want to teach you how to beat the system. True enough, they've been superior. They submitted us. They had us in slavery. They still incarcerate us. Some of our greatest hustlers. There's no escape away from these people. They have been the truth. You got to realize the real so you know what you're dealing with. I heard a writer say the courage of one's enemy does him honor. You got to understand the adversary and what you're dealing with so that you can elevate who you are to contest that shit. But if you're not true about it, boy, they're going to keep running circles around you. So I realized it because my dad taught me. Go learn about them white folks. Slip up underneath them Jews. Get the information. You know all you need to know about the streets. For you to continue to invest in that is unproductive. Go slip up underneath them cats and get the game. Be a vacuum cleaner, son. Then you're going to be unstoppable. And that's what I did. And so I know them, I've studied them, I've mastered them. When I worked at Neiman Marcus when I was younger, I worked in Beverly Hills. I would go on the street, I would observe them. I would build relationship with some of the people that owned their own boutiques. I remember Daventage, my girl over there, she spoke 7 languages and I built a relationship with her. I'm getting the game. How do you think? How do you move? What's your mannerisms? What do you read? I'm getting the game. So when I ultimately got into the game, I used all of that, which is why I became very successful, which is why some of my people can be in places that other dudes couldn't because of what I taught them. Do you understand? I taught them to camouflage this game and don't let nobody prepare for your strengths. Camouflage the game. And so we was up in them places and they had no idea. They thought we was who they were because we knew the mannerisms. We knew the conversation. We knew the articulation. I use that in police accountability. That's game. All that other shit, that's nothing. That's game that I'm giving you. That's game. So understand there's a great difference. Let me make this clear. Let me shout out to you. Kev, I think, bruh, you are extremely talented. But I do believe, maybe because you didn't have your father in your household, that there's some things that you missed, and some things that have hurt you, and some things that you have been bothered with, that I believe, as you have told others, that they need some type of counseling. This is not, I'm not trying to shit on you. I'm not trying to degrade you, because I think you are a genius. But even genius, the Bible said, folly sets in great dignity. So even where you are right now, that's my issue, bruh. Because I really, really believe in my heart that those particular things, not everything, those particular things that I've discussed are extremely harmful to black men in our culture that need an education of how to be a man. This is why I have an issue with you. Nothing else, bro. Whenever it affects the community, I feel, yes, you're popular, and that message has become popularized. And so I want to make sure that at least I can put other information out there where people can have a choice. And I'm not going to be sideways. In other words, I'm not about to beat around the bush. I went directly at what I felt I did disagree with, and I told the people that it was you that I disagreed with, because I'm a man. I'm a man. That's why my dad taught me to be a man, to be clear, to be direct, right? No pussyfooting around. So anyway, that's my reason, Kevin. I don't dislike you. I wish you continued success, brother. But I do have a problem with that. Okay? So I'm trying to put this stuff to rest. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying here on these questions that you guys have. Let me see what's up. If you're going to ask them, I know there's been a lot going by, but I'm not going to answer them when I'm doing the live. Also, I'm not going to be back on here no more. I'm going to go right back to my OnlyFans page, because I believe the information is valuable. I'm going to go back to OnlyFans. I'll be in here periodically, dropping videos such and such, but going live. I'm going to go live on my OnlyFans page, right? And I put that in, I believe I put that in the link. And so just come find me, and I believe it's Andre Taylor Master Teacher at OnlyFans. Yeah, I believe that. Andre Taylor Master Teacher at OnlyFans. So you guys come up over there, because these kind of conversations, this is what I'm having on my OnlyFans page every Friday. We're breaking things down to science. We're talking about everything. We're talking about women. We're talking about building men. We're talking about, life. We're talking about mistakes. We're talking about everything over there. And so that's where I'm at, guys. And I know some of you guys got issues with that, whatever. In order to get on Kevin's page, you got to pay $5 first. You know what I'm saying? This is business too. I still got to eat. I still got to, and my information, I believe, has value to it. When the mayor called me and she asked me to help her with the CHOP area down here in Seattle, I told her that I'm not going to allow you to use my social and political capital for free. And I need you to do this, this, and this. And then I will lend my genius to help you. Because it wasn't just for me, but I wanted to make sure black people coming behind me would understand white people, as a rule, have used black people's genius for free for many years. Don't pay them nothing. And then a white person come along and they pay them. So I wanted to show black people operating in your genius, you make sure you get paid. Don't do nothing for free. Right? Whatever you went through in your life to gain the knowledge and the information that you have is worth something. When they go to college, they get paid. So if you got it from the streets or your experiences or whatever, it's still valuable enough for them to pay you for your services. So they paid me for mine, and I made it happen, $150,000. You see what I'm saying? So just trying to let you know and teach you. So anyway, that's where I'm at. If you guys want to come and holler at your boy, I'm over there. You know what I'm saying? What else? So let me read some of these comments. Y'all want to say something? I think we're going to only be on for about an hour, guys. So we got about 15 minutes for me to answer your questions. Peace. Stop wasting your energy on that dude. Everything is for everybody. Everybody doesn't deserve your jewels. Well, you must wouldn't hear from the beginning, bruh. Righteous Allah. You wasn't here from the beginning to explain my reasonings behind me addressing Kevin Samuel, or you wouldn't have made the statement. You look at you're gonna have to go to the beginning so you understand that this is not about Kevin, this is about the community. And I explained where I come from and what I was doing before I came back to social media to let you know why I think the way that I think. Okay? All right. Okay, let me see. Alina put my OnlyFans link up there. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to. You know, we talk about real deep stuff over there. Can you be a remnant if you're Native? Absolutely, you can. You know, I built great relationships with the Native community. You guys might know, but there are more Native tribes in the state of Washington than there are in the whole United States. So let me just give a shout out to the Puyallup tribe and all the tribes in Washington State. When we started the initiative to change the law, it was the Puyallup tribe that gave the first, I think, like $200,000, $300,000, and then they continued to give. They were the best. They was the second biggest funders of getting, because do you know that there are more Native tribes that are killed per capita than even black people? So yes, they participated, and in a big way, and I got much love for them, especially the Puyallup tribe. So shout out to them. Let me see what else you guys are talking about. Oh, you used to be Stephen now? Okay, Stations in Everett. I have autism, and your daily fires have saved my life and all. Thank you very much. Will you do any collaborations, the new future with fellow YouTubers? I just might, yeah. If you guys want me to, you guys, you know, get on somebody's page and let them know that I'm open to it. Yeah, why not? Absolutely. I represent the family structure. Absolutely. Thank you. Culture critical. Dre, how do I keep myself from getting jealous when a broad seems to have more game than me? Well, I knocked a broad named Vogue before, and Vogue was a thief. She was a premier woman in the game. Her name rang like pimps, successful pimps. She was a big deal. And I wanted that girl. And I ultimately got her, right? But what I knew is that Vogue was so sharp in what she did, because I didn't have no broads that were thieves. Didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Broads just had game. But anyway, I knew I didn't know. So I was just quiet and just listening. And I told my broads to listen to her. Just listen, get the game. That was nothing for me to be jealous of. I just wanted to get that information on that part that I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? I just utilized it for me. So that's how you got to look at it. Just utilize it for yourself. You ain't got to say nothing to it. Just listen. You know what I'm saying? The scripture says even a fool, when he holds his peace, is counted wise. So you just being quiet is going to make you look so wise. You know what I'm saying? Make you look powerful. All right. Any thoughts on the YouTube manosphere men who go their own way? I really don't know that concept because I haven't been back on for a while, but I heard somebody talking about it. And to go their own way, I don't really know what that means, because my life is ordered and structured by the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? And going your own way, there's only limitations in your ability to think as a man. You have some limitations, even if you have some success, right? But I'm ordered and structured by the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. And so that's what I'm on. So I really don't know. I'll go look into what they're talking about, you know, but that's not what I'm on. Do you believe in having dominion over another man's actions, and can it be used for good? I don't know about dominion over, because dominion means you have everything, you have dominion over everything in your life. But you can support and help another man and give him the information about dominion so that he can also practice that as well. I know I'm going to be really real with you guys. I've had probably 40 people ask me about the one-on-one coaching. It's just that I haven't been in the mood to do it because I'm just now getting off of that heavy weight of that police accountability stuff. And it was so heavy. It was so heavy, man. And so I chose not to do it right now. We might bring it back, but for right now, I just don't have the time and the energy because when I do mentoring, it takes life out of me to give you life, right? And right now, I'm just building myself back up again, recharging. Yeah. Andre, your honorable father said, can you do bad, good? What helps in those tough times to stay doing good? Principle. Yeah, principle. Principle doesn't have anything with feelings. This is why I talk about it. It doesn't have anything with how you feel, whether you feel you want to or whether you feel you don't to. When you have a principle, when you are standing on principle, it is that you elevate above your feelings. That's what black men, black women, mostly black men, I'm not talking about black women are emotional. God made them emotional. It's supposed to be beautiful, right? And let me finish this. So once you standing on principle, right, it elevates you above the emotional realm where your woman feels that much more safer to follow you because she sees you haven't changed because the trouble has come. That encourages you because she knows within herself if it was happening to her, she would change. And so that gives you confidence, but it's principle. I'm standing on principle. That's what it is, sir. All right. Oh, my OnlyFans is Master Teacher Andre Taylor. Master Teacher Andre Taylor. At OnlyFans. Few more questions, family, if you got them. Would I ever be a minister? I was a minister at 18 years old. I was ordained as a preacher, 18, and preached for a while. Sure. Maybe I'll come back to it. How to deal with for people to take your kindness for weakness because you've allowed them to do so. But how you think about it, right? So for instance, I remember I gave $5,000 to a guy in the game to help him get his bride out, and he never, do you think that I feel like I'm at a loss? I really believe that he was at a loss. I was happy to be in a position to do it, but I believe that he was at a loss. To have really, really lost a true friend, I released that. I don't carry those things. I'll let people be who they are because they're gonna make people like them. I release that. I don't carry that stuff with me. Nigga, it ain't important enough for me to carry with him. For me to carry him with me, right? Release it. I know I'm gonna do the book on manhood. It's gonna take me some while. That's my boy, Mitchell, right there. That's my dude. Well, let me tell you something, Mitchell. I got COVID and my wife got COVID last year, October. It almost killed me. It almost killed me, man. And they said that I had a mild case of it. I didn't go to the hospital. I didn't have any breathing problems, but I was bedridden. It almost killed me. And so I know that it's real. And so now, later on, when the vaccines came out, I wrestled. What else could happen to me? I'm also aware that this is not the first time that our country has come out with that. They had the polio vaccine. That's why everybody that's around 55 and up have that little thing in their arm for that polio vaccine that ultimately got rid of polio in our country. So, I'm not tripping, man. Sure enough, I did it. I'm not promoting it to you. I'm just saying because I had COVID-19 and I know that it's real and I knew what it did to me, I was like, what the fuck could this shit do with me? Because this COVID almost killed me. And I've had taken it for several months. I have no after effects, side effects. There's no issues. But in a way, I feel a sense of comfort because, I done traveled to Cancun and all them places, and I feel an amount of comfort to it. That's just me. No problem, my dude. I love you, boy. I mean that. That man always stay down for me. When anybody come on, that man gonna go on and challenge him and everything. That's my dude, man. How do you keep your mind and heart? How do you keep your mind and heart integrity? First of all, I suggest you go read some things, man. I read the word. I think that it's powerful. You know, there's nothing more powerful than that word. But there's other books. I always tell people to go read James Allen's As a Man Thinketh. I go tell them to read Sid Arthur. Og Mandina's The Greatest Salesman in the World. Some very powerful thinking books. You know, go get those books. You know, do something to develop the inside of who you are. You know, go read those books. How you guys doing? All right. We got about 5 minutes. Come on with the questions. Yeah, I know. I've been working on that. Andre Taylor for Gorgeous Dre. That's going to be something real phenomenal, fellas. I'm going to do that before the manhood book. It's going to be crazy, but I'm going to get it out there, man. It's got a lot of things going on. Give me a little time, fam. All right. Yes, of course we'll defeat the system. Are you serious? This is our time. We about to build a nation. This is why I'm so adamant about protecting the minds of young black men. Because they're the future leaders. But we in a bad place right now. We've been watered down, and you know what I'm saying? The lack of manhood have cost us, have devastated us. And that's, listen, let me tell you something. I've said this before. I want you to really understand this before I go. America is an empire. It operates like an empire, like any other empire before it that have conquered lands and people, right? If you look at any empire in history, that's what they do. They conquer lands and people. So America went about conquering lands and people. And we were one of those people that were conquered. The Indians and everybody else conquered. You understand that? So when you conquer a people, you can make the laws the way you want to make them. You can do whatever the hell you want to do, right? So how I operated in social justice, I had a different way of operating because I recognized that I'm dealing with an empire. And I said that if you are dealing with an empire and you're coming crying about what's going on and what they're doing to you, well, do you know that they got to the goddamn position that they got to doing what they're doing? You can't come to these people crying about how they got to be controlled, have control and rule. They got here by doing that, and you crying about them doing it to you. You got to come a different way. You got to come a different way. So the system, the empire, it respects genius and power. Genius and power. You got to come at it like that. What do you have to offer to the empire? Do you understand what I'm saying? So once they realized I had something to offer to the empire, the conversation began to change. My genius, my knowledge, my ability to bring people together, what I had to benefit and to the empire, right? You can't come back to them crying like we have been doing. You guys are doing this to us. No, it is our responsibility to learn them, right? And to take what we've learned to then teach ourselves, to build men and build black families. That's our responsibility. We have to get it together, right? It ain't gonna take a lot because I'm saying I'm only looking for a remnant. I know what I was able to do by myself. Can you imagine if I had 5,000 men black men that think just like me, that's educated in the information that I give, if me as one black man was able to submit them? Do you know what we can do with 5,000 of us? Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Yes, this is an empire. Understand what you're dealing with. You can't come at them crying. They won't respond to that, right? They're an empire, and they got into position by conquering people and lands. Now, take that information, and now you go study and strategize according to that. Because any empire that is fallen, somebody has strategized a way of how to defeat them. So you and me, we have to do the same. All right. Okay, I love you guys, man. My video, Like Me, will be coming out on the 31st of this month. And it'll be coming out on World Star at 12 noon Pacific time. That's West Coast time. So you guys go support it. I got a lot more music, a lot more things that I want to do. I love you guys. I mean it. You know, I'm down for you. Let's bring ourselves together, bring our people together. I love you. Ahava.